everyone. Live tonight from 7165 Lounge here in Philadelphia, PA. Myself, Lake Lewis, from CBS Sports Radio, also owner of Sports Journey Broadcast Network, where this is right now. I'm sitting with Philadelphia Eagles Lineman Michael Bamiro. What's going on, Mike? How you doing?
Good, I'm good. Happy to be here. How are you?
First time doing something like this?
Yeah, my first time.
You're not going to get nervous, are you?
No, I'll try not to.
Well, listen, one of the things that we do on the show is, and this is all the shows that I do, I try to get the guys to come on and try to, present you in a way where I'm sure your parents would be happy. And especially with New Year's tonight, first and foremost, I want to tell everyone, be safe out there, have some fun tonight, but be responsible. Also, right here where we are, there's going to be a New Year's after party a little bit later on. We had the DJ over there setting up, so we're going to stick around afterwards, get some good food, meet some good people out here. So exciting time here at 7165 Lounge.
That's awesome. I'm all for it.
Now, your team right now, Philadelphia Eagles, they're in the playoffs. You're in the playoffs.
Yes.
You're a rookie right now, and most guys, when they make it to the NFL and they make it on a team, you want to contribute, you want to be part of something special. And your first year here, you're playing for a division champion. Mm-hmm. Your team's in the playoffs. Big home game coming up this weekend. How exciting is it for you right now?
It's really exciting, honestly. To be a part of their first division championship in, I guess, a couple of years. Mm-hmm. Being here with the Eagles, it's awesome. When you watch football when you're younger, you're watching teams go through so many different phases of having winning records and losing records. And in your first year, you're on a team that's that good. Yeah, it's awesome. It's an awesome feeling.
You have a rookie coach. So everything's new here.
Yeah.
And you do have some superstar players. LaShawn McCoy, Shader McCoy led the NFL in rushing this year. Guy that you get a chance to see every day. How special? Like when you're coming from Stony Brook. No offense, but it's a smaller school. You did play at Pitt a little bit, so you can see the the differentiations as far as those schools, but. Stepping up to the pros, man, you're talking about Pro Bowl players.
Yeah.
What's the speed of the game like?
The speed of the game it's intense. It's miles and miles ahead of when I was playing in college, but everybody knows that.
Right.
It's the professional league. You're playing with guys who are paid because they are the best at what they do. Mm-hmm. So I was not as prepared as I thought I would be, but as the days and the weeks grew on, I got better and I got more acclimated to the situation and more acclimated to the speed of the game, and I feel like I'm making good progress.
Offensive lineman, at 6'9", obviously you're going to be put on the end.
Oh yeah.
You're going to be a tackle, and this team here has had over the years some really large tackles. And one of those guys is coaching you right now.
Mm-hmm.
So you get a chance to learn from Trey Thomas, one of the best guys that played his position. And a guy that everyone here in Philadelphia knows about. How much has he meant to your career so far?
He's mentored it a lot, because Trey knows so much about the game. He's broken the game down from where the defensive line alignments are, where their feet are aligned, where their hands, the way they move their hands, to how he can try to coach that and translate into making you a better player, And Trey's taken me, I guess, as a person. Like, he works with me a lot.
Sure.
He wants me to get better, so I really appreciate him for that.
Yeah, he wouldn't work with you if he didn't see anything, so that's always a plus for you. When you look at the team right now, everybody here in Philadelphia is on cloud nine. There's a history here, and there's also another side of the history, as I'm sure as a player you're aware of too, where I have a cousin that I was may be coming in here a little bit later on, but he always reminds me all the time about how sometimes Philadelphia fans they hold their breath. You don't want to get too excited too soon. But I look at this team right now where you've accomplished what I don't think most fans thought you were going to accomplish, at least not in the first year of Chip Kelly. So you win the division and you're in the playoffs. In my opinion, you're playing with house money right now. New Orleans, they were supposed to, be really good, and they were for the most part of the year. You look at Green Bay. You look at San Francisco. You look at Seattle. A lot of these teams were expected to be there.
Right.
Not you guys. At least not in my opinion. I'm NFL media. I didn't see it. Where do you feel right now? I mean,
what our coach has been preaching to us since day one is that we're playing a one-game season every week.
Okay.
So we took it game by game, day by day. And the way I see it, this Eagles team, we've changed the game a little bit. We're introducing so many new aspects to the way we prepare ourselves before practice starts, in the morning, afterwards. Everything's just on time. Everything's on time scheduled. Everything just works together, and it just makes us such a better team.
Well, I know one thing. I know you're in shape. Because of playing with this offense, and I had a chance firsthand, against the Redskins opening night. I'm like, is this professional football or is this college football? Because that spread, spreading the ball the way you guys do, and you think about, again, the weapons. Deshaun Jackson on one side, and we all know that he doesn't like to have Shady McCoy and Deshaun on the same side of the field. It makes sense to spread them out where you can get playmakers to do what they do. I just don't know how you can defend that. And then with Nick right now, just elevating his game to a Pro Bowl level, right. it just enhances this offense.
Nick is at another level of play right now. He's playing extremely well. He's confident in the pocket, and he just makes great decisions with the ball.
He doesn't make mistakes.
Yeah.
Listen, I mean, I like that you're even kill. I like that you're keeping it simplified, and that's what the approach is, as you said.
Yeah,
But you got to be excited too.
I am really excited, honestly. After the game was over, I couldn't even control my emotions on the field. I ran over, jumped on all my teammates because I know they've worked so hard for this. Especially since it's a new staff. Everybody's new to the whole system, so we're all just trying to make sure that, we get this right this time,
Folks, right now we're live here. Michael Bamiro, Philadelphia Eagles, joins us, and, I'm really impressed, first and foremost, before we even go any further. I'm impressed because you seem like an astute young man. That it's more than football. But obviously football is paying the bills, so you make sure that you get that out the way. But
thank you, I appreciate that.
Again, you grew up and went to Stony Brook. Mm-hmm. I had a good friend of mine, Corey Chambers. I was the assistant basketball coach for the women there. I know your brother played basketball there, and part of the Harlem Globetrotters.
Yeah, he played for the Globetrotters for about 3 years, and then a year ago was his last year playing.
Now, who's the athlete of the family? Because you had a brother that also played briefly with the Vikings in the NFL.
Yeah, he played for the preseason with the Vikings, and then they cut him after his preseason was over, and then he played a little bit in the AFL. And
listen. You don't even have to mention cut because just to put on the pads in the NFL means that you're pretty good. Yourself here with the Eagles. Okay, your brother was with the Globetrotters. You had another brother that was with the Vikings. You have a sister as well.
Oh yeah.
Is she an athlete as well?
She's honestly the best athlete. She's a distance runner. She runs cross country in Forest Hills in Queens, New York, and then she throws shot put. And I honestly envy her because I could never run distance the way she does.
That's all right.
It's
so
pretty
you have
impressive.
You have a family full of athletes. What about your parents? Were any of them athletes as well?
Not really. My father did a little bit of soccer when he was in high school, but he went to high school in Nigeria, in Africa. So that's as far as the athleticism went for my parents.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm impressed. 3 professionals out of the group, and obviously, if your sister's doing well, you maybe Olympic hopeful.
Hopefully, right?
All right. So we have a lot to talk about here, and one thing that we do like to say is, if there's anyone out there who wants to ask a question or ask Michael a question, I'm not the important person here. If you want to ask us a question, come on up. We'll make a spot for you as well. We're going to be doing this for about an hour or so, and a little bit later on, 8 o'clock actually, I think, starts. They have more people coming in, getting ready for New Year's tonight. And again, I stress to everyone out there, make sure that you're safe and you're doing a responsible thing. but obviously have fun. Welcome in 2014. It couldn't get any better for you. I know that. 2014 at the Link is going to be crazy. So
could not get any better.
Exactly, folks. So when we come back, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, more with myself, Michael Bamiro. We'll let you plug your Twitter handle. I know how the guys, that's important to them. So before we go out to break, let everybody know what your Twitter handle is.
Right now? It's at Michael Bamiro.
That's simple.
Always.
At Michael Bamiro. All right, very simple.
Gotta keep it easy.
When we come back, we'll give you some more information on tonight's festivities here at 7165 Lounge. We'll be back. Hang tight.
That's a good pour. Frosty glass, perfect amount of foam.
Thanks, Coach.
How's your Bloody Mary?
Spicy.
Wings?
Always fresh, never frozen.
All right. Who's the primary on Spider 2Z Snag?
It's the fullback out of the backfield. If he gets jammed, I'm hitting the flanker on a curl route.
You're good.
I know.
Huddle up at Hooters. Why would you go anywhere else, man?
Attention if you have diabetes.
Hello, I'm Alan Thicke. As the father of a child with diabetes, it's important that I keep up to date with the latest in treatments and technology. That's why I'm happy to tell you about a breakthrough in diabetes care through CCS Medical. You don't need to stick your fingers anymore. This new meter allows you to test on your arm, so it's virtually pain-free. Plus, it uses gold test strips. Real laser-etched gold in every strip provides the ideal testing surface for one of the most accurate readings possible. Best of all, CCS Medical can send you this meter at no cost. With CCS Medical, they deliver your diabetes supplies to your home. They work with Medicare or your insurance to process the paperwork. They even have nurses certified in diabetes available to answer questions. And for a limited time, CCS Medical will also send you a diabetes ID bracelet. All this from a company trusted and recommended by thousands of doctors around the country. Call CCS Medical today.
Want clear skin all over? Well, get set, because Proactive's Deep Cleansing Body Wash is back. And so is free shipping. 2 hot summer deals. Now Proactive clears acne on your face and body, so you feel confident all over. And the body wash is yours free when you order Proactive today.
The Deep Cleansing Wash, it really exfoliates the skin. I use that on my arms, my legs, my chest.
My skin was smoother. It got rid of the small little bumps on my shoulders and back.
Proactive has a $40 value, but with today's special offer, pay just $19.95 and your shipping is free. Plus, get the Deep Cleansing Wash free to polish your skin to perfection.
I went out and bought a little spaghetti strap dress, and it was a really amazing feeling.
Act fast and we'll add a free travel size green tea moisturizer. Don't wait. Order Proactive today and get free shipping, but only for a limited time.
Dear Bowflex, I dropped 8 dress sizes, 36 pounds, and all I had to do was walk.
This is the Bowflex Tread Climber Machine, the easiest way to walk and burn up to twice the calories in less time. By combining the motion of a treadmill, a stepper, and an elliptical, you get the calorie-burning benefits of all 3 workouts at once.
I lost 30 pounds in 4 months. If I can do it, anyone can do it.
Call now for your free DVD and information kit. You'll see how the Tread Climber burns up to twice the calories of a treadmill. Plus, you'll learn how you can own a Tread Climber machine today with special financing for 18 months.
Within the first couple of weeks, I started to lose inches. I lost 50 pounds in 3 months using the Tread Climber.
Call or go online to buytc.com for your free info kit. We'll also send you the Bowflex Insider's Guide with a personal fitness assessment to help you jumpstart your Bowflex body today. Absolutely free.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bowflex.
Sincerely, J.D. Weber.
Car owners, does your vehicle have less than 120,000 miles on it? Is it less than 10 years old? Is your current auto warranty about to expire? Well, Cover America Auto Care has a very special offer just for you. With current economic conditions causing bankruptcies and a downturn in new car sales, Cover America Auto Care now offers inexpensive mechanical breakdown coverage direct to the public. You can save thousands of dollars on auto repairs. A toll-free line has been made available so car owners can call and get a free no-obligation quote. This auto protection is backed by an A-rated A-rated insurance carrier. Plus, you get a claims department that has an A-plus rating from the Better Business Bureau. 24-hour emergency roadside assistance is also included. You will be amazed at how much you can save on future car repair bills. So call for your free, no-obligation quote now. Do not wait. Get covered today and rest easy tonight.
All right, folks, welcome back. We're live from 7165 Lounge here in Philadelphia, PA. I'm sitting here with Philadelphia Eagle offensive lineman Michael Bamiro. And Mike, you had some people come up. If people want to take a picture, if they want to come up and talk with him, you can take pictures anytime. He definitely will talk with you when we go to break.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
We have to do it that way, but
don't mind that at all.
Other than that, good stuff that we're talking about, and give you some information about tonight. There will be a after party, New Year's Eve party from 8:30 up until 2 a.m. So to welcome in the new year, and also if you are paying for tickets, you can get dinner and wine. It's a great festivities. I mean, it looks like I can smell the food from over here.
I can too, honestly.
So you know, we definitely are going to have to get in on that soon.
Those buffalo wings are hitting my nose right now.
Philadelphia Eagles playoff game coming up. Can you imagine all the players that have played in this game and, you know, may have played 10 years, 12 years? You may have one or two teammates that are, you know, that have been here for a while. I know you share the same agent with Trent,
yes.
Trent Cole. And you think about those guys that have been here for a while and may have come from other teams on top of that and never had any playoff success. Some guys haven't even played in the playoffs, and here it is. You're a rookie, and you just walk right on up into this thing and get a chance to compete for something super meaningful. You're spoiled in a certain sense.
I mean, yeah, I consider it a blessing, honestly. You know, it's a blessing to be able to walk into a situation like that with guys who have been through the game and who have struggled a little bit, you know, coming up, and then to finally get this playoff bid and be able to showcase, you know, get their shot to make it to the Super Bowl.
And it's good for the city. You know, covering the NFL for the amount of years I have, I try to tell people that the economy in the cities where these teams are that make the playoffs, you'll see just goodwill across the board. You know, you'll see someone, you know, help somebody across the street just because everyone's happy that their team's in the playoffs. Now, if you're losing, it might be a whole nother story walking across the street. But, you know, right now Philadelphia is looking for a winner, and you understand the history here. You know, you understand. I'm sure your agent probably, most players that come here, their agents let them know. You know, it's a tough town, but it's a fair town, and it's a town where the fans they love their teams.
They do. That's one of the things I learned when I first got here is that the people in Philadelphia, they do love the Eagles. You know, they show so much love to players, any player. You know, I mean, even I was receiving love from a lot of the fans here, and that really blew me away, honestly.
You're saying it tonight.
Yeah. You know, it blew me away, honestly, and you can truly appreciate that here in Philly.
You know, just have family that's from here. I've been here quite a bit, you know, visiting. Got some family right over there right now. You know, so when you come here, you know, we used to come for Thanksgiving every year, and obviously the conversation would quickly turn towards, you know, sports.
Always.
You know, you get a different passion from Philadelphia fans. And the last time I was here, I took my cousin back home, and we just started talking about the Phillies, started talking about the Eagles, and he was relatively quiet on the ride home. But then when the sports started being talked about, he just sat up in his seat, and it was like a whole nother level of fandom came out. And that's one of the things that I've always, you know, respected about Philadelphia fans is that they do love their sports. But one thing that I also like about Philadelphia fans is they'll let you know when you're not doing well too.
Oh yeah.
And you know, not to badmouth where I'm from, but you know, in D.C. it's a little bit more politically correct where you know you can't say certain things. I like it when the fans and even you know my colleagues here in the media, I like it when they say, "Hey, you guys didn't play well." And they don't really say it that way.
Oh, yeah, but they'll find ways to let you know.
I mean, you're coming from New York. I'm sure you're used to this. You know what that's like. You know, it's it's tough talk, but sometimes it needs to be said.
Oh yeah, I mean, growing up, I was a big Knicks fan, so like before they acquired Carmelo Anthony, there'd be so much talk about this with the Knicks. They need this, they need to revamp that. So I already know a lot about like how media can let a team know that they need to get better.
Yeah, I do say sometimes that we have to do a little better job and not putting myself on a pedestal or anything like that, but I do think that kind of knowing the pulse of sometimes with you guys as players, I just think that sometimes it can be overboard as far as the criticisms, because most people, and I say this sincerely, most people don't know what it's like to have your job on the line in front of 60, 70,000 people and then 1 million people on TV.
Right.
That's a whole nother level of pressure. And let's face it, there's some people probably in this building tonight that, for whatever reason decided to maybe mentally check out at work. I always say in the media, I can't do that because you'll tell.
Yeah.
And definitely not you guys as athletes. You can't check out on one play.
Not at all. Somebody can get hurt. Just like that, it could be the end of their career if I mentally check out, especially at the position of offensive line.
Is that something that you definitely, being a rookie, you realize coming to this level, is that one bad play and someone will make you look real bad?
Yes. Yes.
Has that ever happened to you?
I mean, of course it happens at practice, and that's why they call it practice. Everyone's working to get better.
But not because you checked out, though.
Not because I checked out. It's because
Okay.
clearly that person was better than me that play. So, of course, sometimes you're going to get beaten, and sometimes you're going to win that rep. So it's all about just keep getting yourself better. You
just read my mind. That's good. That means we're clicking here, because I was just about to ask you, what happens when a rookie kind of dogs a Pro Bowler? What do you do? Do you help the guy up after you knocked him down, or do you just? Well, I mean, what do you do?
I mean, of course, it's just really what you do. You help them back up. I mean, guys beat. I mean, it's the way we see it is practice. Guys are going to beat each other constantly every single day. And if they're not, then that person doesn't get better, and the other person isn't getting better.
So you've pancaked obviously some. I'm not mentioning names. I'm just you've pancaked a Pro Bowl player before.
I mean, no, we don't pancake at practice. We try really hard not to keep people off the ground, but I have had successful blocks against teammates.
Okay, and just so you know, for those of you that don't know, a pancake is when this guy literally lays the guy in front of him straight on his back. That's what that means. So, everyone talks about the Pro Bowl players doing it to you young guys, but I like to know the story on the other side.
Yeah, of course. Guys are going to go back and forth.
You know what? I'm looking at you right now, Michael, and you look very uncomfortable answering that question.
No,
it looks to me like that's part of you being a rookie, is that you really don't want to mention that when you did that, because you still have to go back to the facility.
Listen, I am completely comfortable saying that. Guys are going to win reps and guys are going to lose reps, because I know there are a lot of times that those guys can be like, oh, yeah, I've beaten Mike tons of times. So
humble guy. I like that. 2-3 years from now, he's going to be like, yeah, I do it all the time, None of that. One of the questions that I ask a lot of the young guys, and I have another young guy here. He's not coming on the show tonight, folks, but a good friend of ours came up with us. And I need to say this sincerely. Good person, plays for the Redskins. He's visiting us as well. And, I asked him. He came from a situation in college at Florida State. Florida State's playing in the national championship game in, 2 weeks. And he comes to a team that yesterday fired their head coach. So there's a lot of politics involved in all this stuff. How much of that do you see as a rookie? I mean, where you really get a chance to see that the NFL's a business first and foremost?
You see a lot of it. You see a lot of it when you, especially coming into camps, and you grow attachments with other players that are there.
Yes.
And then the following week they can be gone. Or the following day they can be gone. Even within that day, within the few hours after practice is over, they can be out of there for good. So you really get a hold of that playing in the league.
I don't think a lot of fans understand that kind of pressure. You almost. I know a lot of guys that don't befriend people. I mean, and I don't mean to be rude or not to alienate people, but sometimes it's hard. Like you said, you get close to a certain person, and a week later or a day later, for that matter, they are gone, and you feel like you have to start over from scratch. I mean, as far as making friends, do you have close friends on the team now?
I do have a few close friends on the team now, but I will admit, like when I first got there, in my head, I wanted to kind of build that college atmosphere again, where I'm really cool with everyone. I get to know everybody, but it doesn't work that easy.
Welcome to my world. It's the same thing in the media world. You know, you see guys that you grew up watching on TV, and you want to go over and say, you know, I'm a big fan.
Right?
Yeah, you can't do that. You know, this is a young team, though. You know, and this is a team that, I mean, yeah, you have your core players. Obviously, we talked about some of those guys. But, you know, Coach Kelly came in, and one of the things that he wanted to do, which most coaches do, they put their stamp on a team. Right. And they find young guys that they want to build with. And, you know, I've heard a lot of positive things about yourself, you know, as far as, you know, sometimes people don't understand as far as team stashing players on practice squad, and they hope no one else comes after you. You know, when I look at this line, you have some mainstays on the line now that are young, but there is an older tackle, and you think about, you know, your opportunity. Do you say to yourself, you just have to get better every day, and when your time comes, it comes, or is it something where you're eager to prove, you know, hey, I belong? Yeah,
every day I try my hardest to make sure that I prove that I get better, and that I prove that I do belong to be on the Eagles. Mm-hmm. And of course, I'm going to say to myself that sooner or later my time is going to come when I'm going to need to play. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, I didn't join the NFL, you know what I mean, just so I can sit back.
Of course, to be on the sidelines.
You know what I mean? I want to be a player.
Of course.
I do, like, this sport I do love. I fell in love with it when I was younger, and ever since then, you know what I mean, I've always just wanted to play football.
You know, I've been saying for a long time, I really don't understand the whole – I don't see the need for a practice squad because I think to fans look at that like you're not part of the team, and that is the total opposite. That is the total furthest thing from the truth. You practice every day. You get beat up every day. Yes. You go to team meetings every day. You lift weights every day. Yeah. You even carry things, you know, for guys every day. Rookie indoctrination. So I've never understood that. I really don't. And you know, from the nuances of being able to take a guy off the practice squad, you know, in fairness, some guys on the practice squad want to be picked up from another team because if someone were to pick you up from the practice squad, you know what that means. Yeah. You're automatically on the 53-man roster. For
3 weeks.
For 3 weeks. And there's a bigger payday for that, too.
Right.
So, I mean, are those things that have crossed your mind, or you're very comfortable where you are?
I mean, those things have crossed my mind, but at the same time, I feel so comfortable with this offense that we run here, and I see such great positive things happening from here. Here in Philly on the Eagles, I see so many – I can only see so much better happening in the future.
Yeah, I mean, another year in the system, and there's still some pieces that can be added to get better. I'm still scary to think of how better this offense could be because you have a Pro Bowl running back, a Pro Bowl wide receiver. I think Brent Selleck's a Pro Bowl caliber tight end. Yes. You have a Pro Bowl quarterback now.
Right.
It's pretty frightening if you think about it.
It's very frightening, and there are so many more offensive threats that aren't even recognized by Pro Bowl. Like, I think Riley Cooper is a great receiver.
Absolutely.
Jason Avant is a great receiver and a great blocking
Jeremy
receiver.
Maclin hasn't played this year from an injury, so imagine when he comes back next year, just how far along things can be and how dynamic the offense could even be. You know, and I think Coach Kelly will you know, 1 year in the league is enough to learn how to call plays and, you know, just see different defenses thrown at you. So everything's on the up for you guys. You know, I'm excited to see what happens this weekend. Yeah. You know, I don't think there's a team that's invincible, you know, in the NFL, let alone the NFC. Obviously, it'll be tough to go to Seattle. Right. You know, I think everyone realizes that, but it's not like they're a team that can't be beat. I mean, they have losses on their record, which means that they can be had. So we'll see how that plays out. One of the things that I like to do is ask, you know, a lot of the younger guys, growing up, who were the players that you looked up to?
Growing up, a few of the players that I looked up to, I loved watching Michael Strahan.
Okay.
I mean, of course, as a kid.
He's in New York, too.
As a kid, you're like, oh, his name is Michael. My name is Michael, too. So I thought he was a great player. And also Jonathan Ogden. Because, I mean, he was so much bigger than all the other players that he played against. And that's how I felt when I was playing football as a kid.
You actually remind me of Jonathan a little bit. And I'm serious. I mean, Jonathan was a thinking man's football player. I mean, he was a smart guy. And you know, obviously he was a big guy. But I think Jonathan Ogden beat people with his brains more than brute strength, and I think that's why he's a Hall of Famer, first ballot Hall of Famer.
Right.
And you definitely come across as a very intelligent person. And you put that with your size, man. That could be kind of frightening for somebody across the field from you.
Thank you.
As far as players that you've seen firsthand now,
right?
You may say just the guys on your team, because when I ask other guys, they say Shady McCoy. But who are some of the guys in your first year that you've had the privilege of seeing up close that just made you go wow?
I mean, honestly, the obvious answer was Jason Peters.
Really?
Jason Peters, honestly. That guy, I mean, I've never seen somebody like me that size move that fast and have that strong in hands that he can literally block almost anyone that comes across from him.
Does he help you out a lot?
Yeah. Jason talks to me a lot, before practice, after practice, on the side. He's been a real big help to me.
Is it more now at this level? Is it more about technique than anything else?
It's way more about technique now, more than anything else. It's way more about hand placement, your feet, your steps, how quick you move your feet, how fast you get your feet on the ground than it's ever been before.
When did you feel like, okay, I'm starting to pick this up? I mean, was it a couple weeks into practice? Was it maybe a month or two into practice?
I mean, it was definitely about a month into practice, especially from camp.
Mm-hmm.
Because I literally was just adjusting from coming out of college. I didn't really.
I know the story. I'm gonna let you talk about that story for everybody here. It's like, wait a minute.
So it took me a little while to adjust and get used to that, but then after a while I started understanding where I needed to put myself in position to be successful on that field and where I needed to get my hands right.
Mm-hmm.
They're constantly working with me to get me better at that.
I would imagine being in this high-powered offense, it's fast-paced offense. Is more. They talk about the NBA shot clock every 24 seconds, but I would imagine you have to have great footwork as well, especially being a tackle on top of that.
Yeah, and then I've been working a little bit at guard as well, so having great footwork for both sides.
A large guard. That's
not that much larger. Todd Harriman is playing right guard right now, and he's about 6'8".
Yeah, he's 6'8", 6'7". Yeah. I guess, you think of this type of offense, and you would think it would be a smaller line, a quicker line. But you guys are large guys. I had a chance to see San Diego's offensive line. Obviously, you guys played against them.
Right.
But you saw how large their offensive line was, and King Dunlap used to play here.
Right.
That's a big guy right there. That's the reason why his name's King.
He's a massive. Yeah, he's huge.
You got a chance to see that. But you're probably the largest guy on the team, I would venture to say.
Yeah, tall. Well, not the tallest, but I do weigh the most in
Okay. Yeah. Well, 6'9"?
6'8" and 3/4. There is someone.
I think to everybody in this building, that's called 6'9". Anything over 6'5" is tall, and 6'9" is like a whole nother atmosphere up there. So, but Todd is 6'8", but you're taller than him.
Yeah, I'm a little taller than Todd.
So who's your height? Jason is
Dennis Kelly.
Oh, yeah. Not the size, though.
No, not the size, but he's a little bit taller.
So, no, I'm just trying to give you a title,
Oh, I appreciate that.
The Eagles' largest man.
You can say largest, I'll take largest.
All right, cool. Something to promote you by. So,
appreciate
we got to take another break. This is what happens in radio. We'll take a break, and when we come back, I have more with myself, Lake Lewis. After party here about 8:30 or so. People are already coming in right now. If you do want to get a chance to talk with Mike, you come on up. We do have an extra microphone, so don't be shy if you want to come up here and ask some questions. Let us know your sports knowledge. You okay with that?
I'm perfectly fine with that.
All right. We always tell people it's radio, keep it clean. You can come up and talk with us. So we'll take a break. Hang tight.
If you're disabled and unable to work, pay attention to the following message.
If you're one of the millions of Americans who are disabled and unable to work, you may be entitled to disability benefits through Social Security. Receiving benefits is your right if you suffer from a physical or mental disability. Whether you're applying for the first time or you've already been denied, we can help. You'll be matched up with an advocate who will evaluate your situation, handle your application, deal with Social Security for you, and handle all appeals. Best of all, there's no fee until you receive your benefits. To get started, call the number on your screen now. And keep in mind, there are a vast number of conditions that make you eligible for disability benefits and dozens of additions that you may not be aware of. So if you're disabled and unable to work, call the Citizens Disability Helpline today for a free, no-obligation consultation.
Call 1-800-735-0219. Call now.
Imagine with a simple push of a button, you could be on your way to getting firm, sculpted abs and a sexy waistline with the Contour Core Sculpting System. It's the breakthrough technology that requires no machines, no getting on the floor, no stress, and no strain.
Contour. The Contour is the real deal.
The secret is Contour's exclusive auto-active muscle toning technology, the digital breakthrough that automatically targets all your abdominal muscles, including your upper abs, lower abs, obliques, and even that stubborn lower belly. Thermographic testing proves Contour activates your entire core. The Contour Core Sculpting System comes with a one-size-fits-all Contour Core Belt, electronic controller with custom digital settings, batteries, and a 1-year warranty, plus an instructional guide and sensible eating plan. And it's all yours to try for 30 days for just $14.95. There's never been an easier, more effective way to get great-looking abs. So call and order right now.
Health insurance update.
This just in for all uninsured Americans with or without pre-existing conditions. The recent health care bill will not take effect until at least 2014, leaving families and individuals lacking health insurance with no immediate solution to their concerns. Meanwhile, medical problems continue to be the #1 cause of bankruptcies. Here's the good news. A health insurance hotline has been established to provide affordable health insurance for all uninsured Americans, and yes, uninsured Americans with pre-existing conditions. Call the number on your screen now, and in less than 10 minutes, you could receive a choice of affordable plans from the Hotline Network. This is not a discount card. You will have access to doctors, hospitals, dental care, infant care, and emergency services. Call the Health Insurance Hotline now and get you and your family covered today.
Call 800-794-1817. That's 800-794-1817. Call now.
Are you stressed over credit cards and other debts? Maybe through no fault of your own? Imagine how it would feel to have that weight lifted right off your shoulders. Well, here's some good news from America's trusted name in debt relief. Care One providers have already helped over 4.5 million people in debt, and we can help you today. Just call this toll-free number to speak with a friendly representative, and in just minutes, you'll get your free debt relief analysis.
Regardless of your situation, Care One has an option for you.
We are there to help, and we do that in a way that's empathetic and supportive without judging their financial situation.
The credit card companies, I feel, are trying to keep you in debt and trying to keep it so you owe them money forever. And Care One is a good way to get you out of that and get you out of it fast.
A big burden was lifted off of my shoulders.
Care One threw me a lifeline.
Call Care One. They will help you.
Get debt relief from a company you can trust. Just call the toll-free number today.
Debt relief.
Live from 7165 Lounge, and you can go to octobergallery.com. Check you guys out.
Absolutely.
And right now I'm joined with Mr. Lamar Red Cross. How you doing?
Good,
I had to make it sound
What's
like
up,
that.
Layton?
What's going on?
All right.
Michael Bamiro sitting here with us from Philadelphia Eagles.
All right. And I want to let everybody know Mike is really a small guy. He's really not that big. He really is. 6'9" or 6'8 3/4, whatever he was talking about.
That's nothing.
That's nothing.
The Eagles' largest guy. That's the new self-promotion.
I'm glad he's on one of the metal chairs.
Now, look, I've been here before. Obviously, I met you through some family members that come here frequently. Mm-hmm. And, I've said it before. The first time I came here, for my cousin's 95th birthday party.
Right.
I'm impressed, and I like the facility. Everybody here seems very welcoming. Right. You got a great place here.
Thanks, man. Well, look, we love the program. This is the first time we're doing it, but we're really excited about doing more with you guys. Mike is a class act. He's getting up
Absolutely.
here and being a pro through and through.
This is his first time.
It's his first time, and we were just talking about that. It's his first time, and he's making people like me who've actually been on the microphone before look bad. So You know, so I guess I had to get my chops up or something. But we really like the program. I hope the audience is on. Is the audience still with us? You guys like the program so far? Can we hear from you? Can we put our hands together for the Eagles? Can we put our hands together? Eagles! I know there's always some haters in the audience, but that's okay. That's okay.
Hey, they don't matter right now.
It don't matter. I mean, I love it. This is awesome.
You know.
Can we hear one time EAGL?
Yeah, can we do the EA? Can we do the Eagles thing? Come on, Mike. You start it off, Mike. Come on. E-A-G-L-E-S. Eagles!
There it is.
There's a couple people had a little trouble out there. You know, it's EA. It's not.
You can only imagine coming up here and just those Thanksgiving, days up here with family. Yeah, it used to get real serious sometimes.
Yeah. I imagine family reunions during football season can be tough.
Yeah, but I'm excited for these guys. Know a couple guys on this team, and with me, just covering different teams over the years, and I remember 2 years ago, I'll never forget this last game of the season. The Redskins were playing here against the Eagles, and just afterwards talking with guys, Deshaun Jackson and some of the guys there, Mike Vick, you got a chance to see that it's a tight group here.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's an extremely tight group.
Yes. Yeah, that's one of the things I noticed coming here, because from a lot of the guys that I've talked to that have been through league, they'll tell you that are into business, and some guys will just be separate away from them. There are those guys, but there aren't a lot of them, and a lot of the guys that are there, they're all really close-knit. They all talk to each other. They all try to help each other through certain things, especially through practices. If things are getting tough for them, they all talk to each other,
I mean, you have great role models in front of you, though. I mean, you're missing Jason Peters. I mean, your position coach. I mean, you look at, Trey Thomas, all these guys that have been here. I just think that you couldn't have walked into a better situation. I mean, high-profile offense,
Right.
It's something that is changing the league. I got a chance to cover the read option a lot in D.C., and, that was something that I didn't see sustaining itself. I think last year in the Super Bowl, the Ravens showed the blueprint on how you stop that. You send the linebacker to the quarterback and hit them every time, and after a while they don't want to run that. But this offense is a conventional offense that is fast. I mean, this isn't something that's going away. In other words, this isn't a fad offense.
No, it's not.
This is going to be your offense as long as that coach is here.
Exactly. Yes, that's our culture. That is our identity, and that's how we are going to be known as throughout the league, as a fast tempo offense.
That's deep, isn't it?
Yeah, and
our culture.
And I'm thinking, I'm wondering, is it one of those stats that you don't make it to the playoffs, you definitely don't make it to the Super Bowl if you're not a close-knit team? I mean, is it one of those things where it's all about the locker room? If the guys are together in the locker room, then statistics show that the chances of you making it to the playoffs go on the other side of 70%.
I think that has a lot to do with it, because if you're playing with guys that you care for, you're going to do a lot more for yourself and for that team on the field.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to feel so much more proud of what you accomplish for those guys next to you, for the team, for the franchise. I mean, I feel like all the guys that are on this team have bought in on that, and that's how we all feel. We all feel like we want to succeed for the guy next to us.
Mm-hmm.
Having covered the NBA and NFL for 20 years, I can tell you, this even goes back to my days in college playing. If you don't like the guys in the locker room with you, you're not playing hard. That's just, you're playing for yourself, which is not, there's no goal there when you play only for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that all the successful teams, you just said it, Lamar. I mean, you look at every team that's won a Super Bowl. Yeah, they may have had a couple bad guys on the team as far as portrayed to us in the media, but in that locker room, some of those guys are like the best teammates that you can possibly have.
Their family.
But their persona is, when I walk out this locker room, then it's going to be, I'm going to make people think I'm like that. But inside, they're helping young guys, helping them get better. And I think no question that this Philadelphia Eagles team would not be where they are right now if everyone didn't buy into the same system.
Yeah. Exactly. I completely agree with you. I feel like we all care for each other. I mean, we all speak to each other for the most part, and we all want to see it succeed.
Well, look, we have you sitting here, and
Well, I mean, you know, the
I like your humbleness right now,
Yeah,
but we need to know more about the lounge and the gallery.
Yeah,
and
this place is honestly beautiful.
It's, you know, it's interesting because it's the same rules. You know, to move forward, to have success, you know, people have to be on the same page. We try to communicate to our customers what we're doing. You know, this New Year's thing is kind of, you know, it's really kind of like our birthday party every year. We love having New Year's here. If we had 3 people here, we'd be a family. We'd be having fun. So hopefully we'll have, you know, quite a crowd tonight. It's starting to grow, and it's looking like people are milling around, having a good time. I hope everybody's having a good time. Everybody ready for New Year's? Happy New Year. Don't be afraid. It's okay if you're a Giants fan or a New Orleans fan. You can still say Happy New Year's to each other. Is that right, Michael?
That's perfectly fine.
Maybe Giants.
Maybe.
But I don't know about the New Orleans thing. You might want to watch yourself. But, you know, when I went to your site and just saw the things that you have going on, you do a lot here in the community. Is that something that you specifically targeted, that you knew you wanted to have something where everyone could call home?
Well, the mother company is October Gallery, and October Gallery has always been about culture. It's been around for 28 years, and that's kind of how we kind of stumbled into this business. You know, it's always about culture because, you know, I mean, Michael just talked about it. You know, when you're playing, you know, anything that you're doing that's worth anything, you know, has a particular culture, and you take that culture and you try to grow with it and try to expand it and try to include more people, and that's what we do here now. You know, it started with just art, with just paintings, with just acrylic, and it moved into classes, it moved into workshops and seminars, you know, it moved into sharing time, space, and having exhibits, and it went from, you know, hundreds of people to thousands of people. And so, you know, we just try to continue to do that. And so that's why when you come up with an idea like, hey, why don't we bring Mike and the Philadelphia Eagles, and these guys are taking themselves seriously every year, but definitely did this year, you know, obviously, you know, the proof is in the pudding. You know, we want to connect with that. We want to do those things together. We want to talk about it. And, you know, and Mike, he's a young guy. This is his first year. But, you know, he's really, you know, he's gracious. He's charismatic. He's up here trying to do something. And we want to support those kind of things.
And I'm glad to hear you say that because I make it a point to want to work with some of the young guys just because I just feel like they have so much more to say. And, you know, everyone doesn't get an opportunity to play as a pro. And when you see young guys get to this point, you know, you have to understand the struggles. You have to understand, you know, the hard work that they put into it. And sometimes, you know, if you have a 10-year veteran, they don't remember that. You know, that was a long time ago, you know.
Or so they choose not to.
Oh, yeah, maybe they choose not to. Maybe they're being compensated not to have to. But you see a young guy like Mike, and, you know, I'm impressed. I really am. I like meeting young guys that understand that, you know, when you take your helmet off or you know, in basketball you take your jersey off, you're still representing a lot of people, especially your family first and foremost. So, you know, I'm sure your folks are extremely proud of you and handling this. I'm sure everyone here is. You know, people like to see somebody affiliated with their team is doing the right thing. Right. And it just, you know, doesn't hurt that this team's in the playoffs and one of their guys is here and he's a stand-up guy. That's good stuff.
Yeah, and then also, you know, being in places like this, people can kind of put, you know, a face to the name. You know, you see a person on TV, on NBC, CBS, Fox, etc. When you actually
they just see this in front of you.
Right. Yeah, right. You have the helmet on. And so now, you know, people actually see you. And so now if they see you outside of 7165, maybe they'll remember this experience. And that's the beginning of, you know, of a fan base. And I think that those things are important because it's a two-way street. You know, it's not just, you know, people loving the Eagles and loving you. You know, you've already shared that. You know, you actually have a love for the people who support you, and I think that's a part of the love of the game. You know, you know, so I mean that's another reason why we do these things here, and it's a part of that, you know, expansion of culture that we're talking about.
What are some of the other things? You know, obviously we're on the stage now. You have sound system, so obviously you have bands come in. I see you have a DJ coming up a little bit later on. You know, as far as the music, you know, what types of music? Jazz, you know, neo, soul, everything?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, jazz obviously is big because, you know, that's the foundation of a lot of the music that's out today. I mean,
of course.
If it's hip-hop, if it's funk, even neo, soul. So we definitely do the jazz thing. You know, we definitely do funk. We have a jam session on Wednesdays here. There's a brother named Brett Jolly. You know, he and his brother Bill Jolly, they used to play for They played for everybody. They played for Stevie Wonder and Teddy Pendergrass and Patti LaBelle, and you just name it.
All Philadelphians.
Yeah,
huh?
Well, these guys are those guys. When you come to the city, and these guys have traveled the world, but when you come to Philadelphia and you know. If it's a Philadelphia band, you're going to have these guys in your band. If you come to Philadelphia and you need some support, you're going to have this kind of band here. So they're here on Wednesdays, every Wednesday. We do a jam session here. It's great. It's fantastic. On Thursday, we do Latin night here. A lot of salsa, bachata, merengue.
My wife might like that.
Then on Friday, we do a happy hour here. It's called the Baby Boomer Party, and that's been very successful. WDAS and Doug Henderson has always been here supporting that.
Awesome.
And we have DJ Kappa, who comes on that day, and so it's really really great. And then we rent the facility for special events. People want to do big weddings, bar mitzvahs, retirement parties.
That's really cool.
Super Bowl parties,
95th birthday parties. Yeah, when we got here the first time I came, I just. It's very welcoming. It really is. It's you come in and it's nice. I can't speak highly enough on it.
Yeah,
I really feel comfortable here.
It's really really nice of you, man. Killing me with kindness over here.
Well,
making my glands.
And you won me over when you knew how to use your sound system, because we travel and do this, and I've been in many places where I had to lug the speakers.
Yeah, I bet.
But it sounds great. Everyone seems to hear everything well, and so I can only imagine what the music must sound like.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna get into the music in a bit.
Okay. All right. So what's anything else coming up? I mean, obviously we have the party tonight. Welcome in the new year. Any other big things you want to let some of your folks know in here that's coming up?
I'd say the biggest thing is we just really would like to say thank you for supporting 7165 throughout the years. This is the end of 2013. We're going into 2014. We're really excited about it. We hope everyone here is excited about it. Let it go. Forgive whoever you need to forgive. I'm telling you, it's not worth it. You know what I mean? Have yourself a water or a beer or a pineapple juice and just keep moving. And then let's get into 2014 the right way. We have our jam sessions like we were talking about on Wednesday, really Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And we're always, we always have open arms and open ears for new ideas and new programming. So feel free to come in if people have some ideas or some things.
We already said
like
Tuesday, NFL day off. No media coverage, no player activity. Hey, Tuesdays.
And we're looking forward to Sports Journey coming back. And, doing more programming, especially during the playoffs. And Michael coming back, for that Super Bowl interview.
I would love to.
You know what I mean?
That'd be awesome.
Oh, that would be great. I did want to let everybody know, too, that normally there's a lot more to this, where we have our crew with us, filming and doing some different things. So, we've got a dynamic group of Sports Journey, and I always encourage people, you can go to sportsjourney.com. All of us are, credentialed media, myself, NFL, NBA. I have a daily sports broadcast. I'm on CBS Radio.
Yeah, and I was about to say
so
that.
we just,
CBS,
we all the folks in the crew, we like to tell people we're official. We've worked hard for this.
And the other thing is, I imagine if you guys have some time, you might hang out a little bit after the program.
Sure.
So we probably want to tell some of the people in the audience that if they have questions, if you want to talk to, Lake or Michael, maybe the lights are kind of keeping some people from kind of,
That normally
engaging.
happens. I always tell people call in on the shows all the time and vent, but when they get a chance to vent in person, they're nice. You'd be surprised at stuff you hear on the radio, and then you see that person run into them in the grocery store or the mall or whatever, and they have nothing but kind words for you. So.
Right.
Well, look, I do want to tell you, I appreciate you having, myself up here, my family. Obviously having Michael up here. I would love to strike something up and be able to do this, more often, and I think it would be, a tremendous buzz. I do say this a lot, supporting other minority businesses. I think that's a big thing too. So that's something that, I love to be able to help out with if I can. So I appreciate you having me up.
Thank you, brother.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
All right, folks. So here to wrap this up. Go ahead.
folks. Thanks for coming. Can we put our hands together for Sports Journey?
Thanks. Appreciate it.
I think it's about time.
Let me tell you some of the reasons people get into trouble with credit cards. A job loss or salary cut, an unexpected expense, a divorce, a business loss, or even helping a family member or friend in need. At Consolidated Credit, we understand that debt problems are not about overspending. It's about emergencies and unexpected situations. Consolidated Credit has helped over 5 million people, just like you. The options for getting out of debt have never been better. We can reduce your interest rates, cut your monthly payments, and help you get out of debt fast. The time to call Consolidated Credit is now. There are a lot of ways to get into trouble with debt. There's only one trusted way to get out: Consolidated Credit. When debt is the problem, we're the solution.
Call Consolidated Credit now.
Call toll-free 1-800-426-6016. That's 1-800-426-6016. Call now.
Medical emergencies.
This is Life Alert. Are you okay?
I've fallen and I can't get up.
I'm calling for help right now. Sharon, we received a smoke signal coming from your kitchen. Get out now. We're calling the fire department.
Home invasion. Emergencies away from home.
I'm trying to get to my car, but it's still a ways away.
I'm right here and we'll stay on the line with you and we can contact the police if necessary.
And you can have this protection away from home for just $19.95 per month.
If it weren't for Life Alert, I wouldn't be sitting here today.
Life Alert saves a life from a catastrophe every 11 minutes.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-830-1951. That's 1-800-830-1951. Call now 1-800-830-1951. For a free brochure, call 1-800-830-1951.
Welcome to Hooters. Right this way. Wednesday is Wings Day at Hooters. Get 10 boneless wings and fries for just $6.99.
Are you behind on your mortgage payments? Are you worried about home foreclosure? Does it seem like the bank has no interest in helping you save your home and there is nowhere to turn? Then the Homeowners Relief Line could be your answer. Homeowners Relief Line can help save your home. We specialize in foreclosure assistance, and that's all we do. If you're behind on your mortgage payments, being threatened with foreclosure, have been denied a loan modification, or been the victim of a predatory loan, it's critical that you call Homeowners Relief Line now. Homeowners Relief Line has a network of attorneys, and our agents are available to speak to you right away. Remember, if you are behind on your mortgage payments, Homeowners Relief Line can help stop the foreclosure process. Call today before it is too late. New laws are in effect that may save your home. So call Homeowners Relief Line now.
Call 800-749-8070. That's 800-749-8070.
NCAA women's basketball. All day, every day, our game. Filling it up, knocking them down, and bringing it home. It's basketball at its purest. For family fun and great entertainment, there's nothing like it. NCAA women's basketball. All day, every day, our game.